Welcome to the next episode of WaterparkRanger's Let's Play Wind Waker. In the last episode, we got thrown out of the Forsaken Fortress after a failed attempt of rescuing Errol, and we were rescued by the King of Red Lions, a talking boat, who wants us to find a sail so we can sail around and find some stuff that we can use to defeat Ganon, who rules that Forsaken Fortress. So basically, this is a payback, a long time in the making, and it starts here. And we're gonna look for a sail in some random shop. I only went in here because this is like a shop that a lot of people don't pay attention to. It's the bomb shop, and the interesting thing here is just how much these cost.
Come on now, how's a kid like you going to pay for these? You're dreaming. You don't have enough cash, do you? No, didn't think so. Do you expect me to sell my fine bombs to some boy who has no money? Ha! I'm done with you. Beat it. Scram! Look, can't you read? Do these look like something you can afford? Huh? Listen to me, boy. You're out of your mind. You can't pay for these, so scram! My ancestor's been making bombs for generations. Now seems like I'm the only person left in the world who still works in the bomb industry. Which means I'm the best in the world. And which means I don't go selling my work without approving of who I sell it to. And I don't approve of you, so beat it!
So that incredibly unfriendly shopkeeper there, as you can see, runs the bomb shop, and the lowest price of bomb goes for 10,000 rupees, and even the best wallet in the game can't hold that much, nor can even the best wallet in the series, Phantom Hourglass, which can hold 9,999 precisely. So basically it's a huge waste of time if you're trying to buy anything there at this point, but a lot of people just avoid it altogether because there's no reason to go there at this point in the game. But it's always kind of interesting to see these things that a lot of people just kind of pass up on. The thing you have to do is go to this guy instead, and then buy the sail from him for 80 rupees. He doesn't really tell you that he's selling a sail. You just kind of have to listen to the speech and then pay the money. And so that's really the only thing you need to do here, but because this is a 100% run, we have a lot of stuff to cover on Windfall Island. So we're going to do what we can here. There is more stuff that we can do later. It's just, we can't do it now. So the important thing is to go here first, because this is actually, out of all the side quests here, I think this is the only one that you need to do in order to really beat the game. Not even 100%, but to complete it. To get to the end, you need to go here to talk to the teacher. And then after that, go outside and talk to the kids. Now, the one kid that you need to speak to, I think is the one with a hat. So let's try and talk to him. He's like the leader of their group, the Killer Bees gang. Okay, there we go. And he's going to challenge us to a hide-and-seek game. And the object here is basically you have to find the 4 kids when they hide around the island. 4 kids. I totally didn't mean that. And, just after you've gotten them out of their hiding space, you have to roll after them and tag them. And after you've caught them all, you win. They don't hide indoors, I don't think, so don't go indoors, because I think that might reset them. I'm not certain about that, just don't risk it. They're all outside anyway. So the first one's behind this, I think, gravestone that the Elvis impersonator is dancing in front of. And he'll jump off, an incredibly high height for such a small body, and he'll just run off a short distance. So basically, I'll just show you how to catch the kid. It's really not that tough, thanks to our child-grabbing classes. So we roll after him and knock into him from the side, or any other angle, doesn't matter. But usually, they're not so stupid that they'll run right into you. They're kind of tough to get if you're not rolling. And the next one is behind the bomb shop. Now, that guy in the striped shirt from earlier that I talked to by mistake, I think he mentions this secret passage behind the bomb shop, and it's not letting me sneak on the wall for some reason. Come on now. Thank you. That was really weird. Yeah, there are some things about the controls in the game, just like A and R, because they do a lot of actions. Sometimes the actions will interfere, and then it'll mess up what you're supposed to be doing with each control. It's a minor gripe, but it's a gripe nonetheless. I guess that's one of the ways you can say that this game isn't perfect, and a lot of people will argue that the sailing is a big factor in that too. Now, the sailing later on doesn't bother me too much, but apparently it's gotten the goat of a lot of people, and it's one of the things that this game is kind of infamous for. And also, one thing I should mention about Windfall Island is that there's an odd quirk about this place. There are little pots with rupees in various parts of the island, usually hidden either inside bushes or just places where you normally wouldn't look, like that side of the bomb shop. The tougher they are to find, the better reward they get. Like, there's some with 20 rupees if you know where to look. So you have to roll into the tree there to knock the kid out of the tree. Actually, the first time I did this quest was later when you get a certain item that lets you glide. I saw that kid with my telescope on the top of the tree. I had no knowledge of how to get him down, So I actually soared over to the top of that tree and stood on top of it to tag him, but it won't let you, and it won't even acknowledge that he notices you. You are only able to tag him if you knock him out of the tree. And this is the last kid, and by far the easiest. He/she is really slow, and I think you can even catch the kid without like rolling. And if you catch it with rolling, you'll get it really quickly. Like so. I think personally that the leader, Ivan with the hat, is the toughest to catch. And so after that, they give you a piece of heart. Now, for people who are trying to get through the quest normally, this might be the only piece of heart that they find if they're not specifically looking for them. Besides one that usually pops up in the post boxes later on. But that's not the only reward you get. You also have to go in here and you'll get a red rupee. Now, that doesn't seem like much, but the thing is, there's later a quest that you're gonna need here, and you have to talk to the teacher, and she won't really have a certain discussion with— oh, never mind, purple rupee. And she won't have a specific discussion with you unless you've told those kids to, like, go to class or whatever it is that you tell them to do. So this part, they're gonna have a conversation here that took me a long time to figure out what they were talking about. They start discussing, like, where you can find a joy pendant to give to the teacher. And they talk about something sparkly at the tops of trees. Now, for the longest time, I had no idea what they were talking about. But this is actually, like, the last thing that I ever found while playing this game, is that if you roll into this tree right near the side of the bomb shop, you knock a joy pendant out of the tree, and that's the one they were talking about. And turns out the reason that it's there is because they actually hid it there themselves. And they explain it briefly in this short cutscene here, which is actually pretty interesting. They went to the trouble to put all this here just for a simple joy pendant. All these extra animations and actions and stuff. Which is— I don't understand why they hid it themselves, though. I don't understand why they couldn't have just given it to her if they already knew where to find one. One of them says, like, that just wouldn't be our style, so I guess you can't argue with that. I mean, he is the leader, after all. You might be wondering, what's the point of bringing the joy pendants? The point is that out of all of the different spoils items, the joy pendants are the only ones that you absolutely need to collect a certain number of in order to finish the game. And that becomes clear at a later point, when, I'm just taking a few pots here and breaking them for the rupees. I talked about some hidden ones. But where was I? Yes, we were talking about the joy pendants. Later on in the game, you're going to find out that it's going to be impossible to progress unless you bring a certain number of joy pendants to the teacher. Like, right now, the reason that you have to do that quest is to basically get her into this mode where she'll accept the joy pendants if you give them to her. So first off, you give her 1, and you get a red rupee. Later on, if you bring 20, you get the item that's necessary to continue at a certain point in the game, and is absolutely required for completion. And if you get 40, you actually get a hidden item, and we will go after that as well. But for now, that's really all we can handle with this side quest at the moment. I find that in this Let's Play I've been timing when to do stuff a lot better than in others. Except for ending episodes, of course.